Sonic the Hedgehog, the blue blur with an attitude, the fastest thing alive. We all know him, we all love him. So before Hollywood takes him and sodomizes him 10 ways from Sunday, let's take a look back at the first time they did a Sonic movie. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of misleading because technically Sonic the movie is actually just an OVA that consisted of two 30-minute episodes. But when it got released on VHS, they called it Sonic the Movie. So we're calling it Sonic the Movie. So the movie starts and... what? I'm sorry, but no, that's not right at all. Let me fix that. Okay, much better. Come on, guys, you didn't even get that right. Okay, so the basic premise of the movie is that Sonic and Tails are busy vacationing on Sonic's tropical island home when a owl crash lands his plane in the area. Tails makes a big deal out of it, but all I kept thinking to myself was, you're an owl. Just jump out of the plane and fly, you know, like a bird. Which you are? Turns out Dr. Robotnik is taking the president and his daughter hostage in order to force Sonic and Tails to go to Planet Freedom to defeat Metal Robotnik, who kicked the real Robotnik out of the city. And this is immediately where we meet the worst part about this entire movie. Sarah here is one of the most irritating, screeching-voiced pain-in-the-asses I think I've ever heard in anything in quite some time. Not to mention she's never actually in any real danger at any point in this whole thing. One minute Robotnik is threatening her life, and then the next they're playing video games together.
Oh, it's not fair! You always beat me every time! Alright, one more.
And speaking of Robotnik, I mean, okay, he's never exactly portrayed as the most sinister thing in the world. Mind you, I haven't played a whole lot of the modern Sonic games, so I'm not really aware of what his grand scheme is. But from my experience, he just seems to turn animals into robots, but sucks at it since Sonic always wins. But in this, his big evil plan basically comes down to, I want to put my dick in that Sarah chick. I mean, he's a straight up pervert in this movie, even going so far as to make her wear a dress that he chose and fantasizes about her having his children, and yes, that is her breastfeeding. You know, come to think of it, I'm actually pretty sure that Ted Bundy made his victims do the same thing. I'm just saying. Actually, for the most part, the entire English dub in general is quite bad. Tails is voiced by Lainey Frazier, and I don't even know what to say about it. He sounds mentally slow, and kind of like he's drunk the whole time. I mean, Tails has never sounded like that before, so why does he sound like that here?
Sonic! I finally finished it! See, isn't it great? It's a jet-propelled bodyboard. Come on, you want to try it out? Sonic. Are you alright, Sonic?
As for Sonic, he sounds like he's being voiced by a British guy who's desperately trying to hide the fact that he has an accent and sound American, but he's just barely holding it together.
I'm fine, just fine. So, who's that?
Hi, Sonic! I have some news for you!
Oh, not that old man again. Count me out.
Sonic, we've got to do something to help him!
You're the one who can fly. You do something.
I actually had to do some research, and it turns out that Martin Burke, Sonic's voice, is from Austin, Texas. So, basically the furthest thing from Britain. So why does he sound the way he does? And I mean, this came out not that long after the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Sat AM were on the air, so I don't get why they couldn't have gotten Jaleel White to come back to voice him. He was just always Sonic to me.
We're surrounded, Sonic! Call 911!
No way, Tails. This is nothing. 911 is for real emergencies. If we call 911 for assistance, someone who really needed help would be in trouble. If there's a fire or someone's trying to break into your home or somebody's been hurt, that's when you call 911.
But where the voice acting fails horribly, the animation does not. This was animated by Pero, who are probably one of the best known Japanese animation studios working today. I mean, these guys did Naruto, Bleach, Tokyo Ghoul, The Legend of Korra, just to name a few. Everything has a ton of detail, at least in comparison to the Sonic shows that came out before this anyway, which makes the appearance of Metal Robotnik so cool. Even if he does, for some reason, shit honey out of his robotic ass, and I really don't know what's up with that. The highlight of this entire movie, though, is definitely when Metal Sonic shows up. They didn't give him a voice, with the exception of, like, one single line, so it's just Metal Sonic being an indestructible badass for, like, 20 minutes, just kicking the ever-loving shit out of Sonic. He's, like, pure evil incarnate, which is why the ending is so goddamn stupid. Spoilers ahead, obviously. For a split second, there's a scene where Metal Sonic saves that old owl dude and the president, and then he just falls into a volcano. Immediately, completely ignoring the fact that Metal just spent the past 20 minutes destroying a city and trying to kill Sonic, Sonic dives in to save Metal. Why? He's evil. Why do you suddenly care if it dies? It doesn't make sense.
Grab a hold of my hand! Wait! Don't do it, Sonic! He'll drag you under with him!
And I know I cannot be the only one thinking of this.
I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do.
There isn't anything really groundbreaking about it, but you have to remember that this came out when the only animated Sonic shows we had were the original two. So this was a big step up from that. Nowadays, there's so many Sonic cartoons that I can't even keep track of them anymore. Look, considering the Hollywood movie is being directed by a guy who hasn't ever directed a movie in his life, I'm not going to hold out hope for it. So in comparison to that, this animated movie isn't all bad. The animation is solid enough if you're willing to put up with the weird and bad voice acting. Though, honestly, I'd recommend the Japanese version over our version pretty much for that reason alone.